1 second. I have a message that came in about the class. Hopefully that'll work out. All right, let's take a look. Now, step 3, we just did that, or 2. Remember the opposite of P? Well, you just look at the P column and you put everything opposite there. Well, guess what the next is going to be? Well, they should put the opposite of Q column, and they do. Now, they blank out P because it's not needed. And there you have it. And now notice, not P means you're comparing the columns on the left. And they are always true in an OR situation if one of them is true. But notice the second one is false because it's not. None of those are true. Okay. Construct a truth table for this. So look, you got to build what's in the parenthesis first, and then take the opposite. So you set it up. We've done this 100 times already. Oh, in our minds, we've done this. This is easy. Okay, it's easy for me, but it's going to be easy for you. Then here's the opposite of Q. Then P, then Q. So you're going to look at the P, and then your not Q table. And we know from what I shared with you, it will always be true unless you have a T in the first column for P. And so it's false. Again, you should have that on your table. That I sent you, you should be able to build that too. Then number 4. Just imagine the 4th column here. Let's make it real easy. The 4th column is given to you, FTTTT. Now it says it wants the opposite of that, so just change everything. The 4th column, F becomes now T. The second one in the 4th column is T, then becomes false. It's all the way down. It just means the opposite. I mean, as long as you start out in the opposite, you should be able to do this. Now, here's the OR column. You have here a table which they show is this. True, 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 false. They just built the R as this. True, false, true, false, true, false, true, false, so on. And the Q and R, the table says that unless the first one is true and the second one is false, it's false. So they're always going to be true. Now notice the only two are like that is down here. True, false, and the true, false. It's all they've done. And that's what it says on the right in blue. The conditional is true unless the Q is true and the R is false. Now what does that mean? I'll do my math assignment, or if I think of a good topic, then I'll start my English essay. There's an or in there. Not really something to be taught. You just have to understand it and be able to put the parts together. Now you know when you have the conjunction with this little thing like this upside down, that's an or. That's always true. If one part is true, that's what the or stands for. Unless they're both false. So if it's false, then it's false. And what are we comparing them to? P, first column, and then the fourth column. So if you can see my arc, can you guys see me point here?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so look, I'm pointing in the P column as T. In the Q, then R column is T. It's always going to be true. If just one of those in any of those columns is true, unless they're both false, then it's false. So you've learned, the most important things I hope you've learned so far is number one, a negation. That means the opposite. So if it's P, then not P. So if it's true, then it's not true. The conjunction or, the first one is really an and. The disjunction is the or. Doesn't show that in there. Confusing if you use the word there. The conditional is the line to the right. Biconditional goes to the left and right. Okay, so now. We know that we have an upside down arrow, or B, with negations. It says negations are higher on the list than the disjunction. So if we add parentheses, the statement becomes a disjunction. Disjunction. Again, going back up, if you recall, conjunction was like this. Disjunction was upside down V. This is an upside down V, and we know clearly an upside down V is a disjunction. Okay, so look, we have P, then not Q, and then the disjunction R. We were just kind of just reading them. Did they make sense? No, but you should understand what the not P means. You should know what not Q means. You know if P is T on A. If it's true, then it becomes not true. You know if the Q is not is true, then it becomes not true with that. The upside or the regular V means and if you go back to the original tables, we talked about building. We should get from there to what the answer would be. We started out with not Q, not P, P, then not Q. We said, like in step 4 here, and again, your chart should help you all the way. Anyway, let's go to the next one. We're going to do the bind condition here, I think, next. Okay, for each, this is an example. For each, identify the type of statement using the hierarchy of connectors and rewrite it. In A, they simply use parentheses. B, because there's a not and a or are, we use parentheses. In C, we separate the if P then Q, that's the conditional thing with double arrows, with parentheses. And look, here's what they're saying in a nutshell. This might be the easiest thing to point out. If we have not P then Q and something like, well, let me be exact. So I want to do one exact answer. Make this perfect. One more second. Oh, heck, I didn't get there. Hold on. Oh, machine. Let's see. Is that it? Okay. Let's see here. For this example, what would I want to do? Yeah, I'm going to write this down.